What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how to run a fade route versus an off man coverage look or even a zone coverage look. So anytime you guys are facing that off coverage situation, how you guys can run a fade, slip behind the coverage, and be able to create some separation. So I hope this video gives you guys some value and it teaches you a few new things about route running and what you could do to create more separation. But also, fellas, today, only on Friday, we are having a 50% off sale on our wide receiver in-season 28-day gym training schedule. So it's 28 days of specific workouts that wide receivers can do to maintain the speed, explosiveness, and all the above that they've built in the offseason, specifically designed for the season. So we're having a 50% off sale today only, so I hope you guys can take advantage of that. Very first link in that description below for a 50% off wide receiver in-season gym program. Let's get started with this breakdown. So with Mooney here, he's going to be working this situation where we close the distance, give a fake to this DB, then we're able to slip right behind. Now, this looks more like almost like it could be a cover 2 or maybe a cover 4 situation just based off of that safety coming over, but we're really not going to focus too much on that. We're going to focus on what happens when we have this DB who's off, right? So the number one thing that I have to do is I have to close the space, right? What so many receivers do is that they'll see off coverage and they're lazy about it, right? So they'll just try to go run around this guy. Meanwhile, he's going to get hands right into you. He's going to force you to the sideline, or maybe he's facing the quarterback and he's just going to back up and kind of weave into you, and he's going to stack you. He's going to do what we're trying to do. He's going to stack you over the top and not let you beat him deep, right? So we have to make sure that we threaten him where? We want to threaten him to the inside because that's obviously what's going to get him to overcommit and I could slip behind. Now, when he's in zone coverage, you probably don't want to take an inside release unless he's way outside. If he's way outside and you have to take an inside release, chances are the ball probably isn't going to you anyways because he's got safety help to the inside and that quarterback ain't going to throw it. So Mooney does a great job of really closing the distance, kind of changes tempo off the line. That's something you could absolutely do, whether maybe this DB's 7 yards off, maybe he's 10 yards off. I know at the youth level and the high school level, you get a lot of DBs who don't even want a part of the play. They're scared. They're playing scared, so you got to try to step on their toes, close the distance the best as possible, because that's going to set up a lot of other routes in the game, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. So when we close the distance, we're trying to step on these toes. So when I make that move to the inside, the goal is to try to get him to sit on what? He wants to sit on the post, the dig, the slant, whatever it may be, without actually having to run on it and work a double move, right? Because that's not the design play. It's just a straight fade. So you got to really make sure that your head, your shoulders, everything is committed to the inside, your hips, because that's where that DB is going to be watching, especially if it's off man coverage. Now, if it were to be zone coverage, right? Let's say maybe he was a little bit further off and he was looking in the backfield, you got to try to get into his line of vision, right? He's using his peripherals to try to keep an eye on you. So you really have to sell with your upper half. You really have to step down that line on that post to get him to try to jump on this thing. So that's the number one thing that we have to do, because we were trying to force this. If we could get him to turn his hips and speed turn out of there, this is what they call a blind spot. And when I can get to that blind spot when I'm running a fade, this sets up a ton of routes, right? Because the fade really, yeah, it's great to go catch a deep ball downfield, but the fade sets up a lot of different things, right? It sets up a comeback, it sets up a curl, it sets up a dig, it sets up every single route that you run, that fade route sets it up. So if you guys are getting a lot of zone coverage, right? Maybe you're backside on a play, you're not even a part of the play, you should still be working situations like this to try to force this DB to turn, because the next time he sees it, maybe we're going like play action boot fake and that quarterback's coming back around and you have a comeback. And if I can get this DB to speed turn out of there like this, completely turn his back to me because he's playing the fade and he keeps his head down, I can just snap this thing right off and I'm going to get 3 to 5 yards of separation, and that's a ton of separation. So make sure, fellas, that we can get that DB to flip his hips based off of that move to the inside. It's almost like they call it a vertical set. That like little post move that you throw. Some people call it a rocker step. It's really the either one, but you're trying to get him to sit on that post so I can slip out back behind and make this play deep over the top. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job closing the distance. Great job throwing that fake to the inside, slipping behind, and then obviously going up and high pointing this ball. It's a great play by Mooney. Great example of how to run a fade versus off coverage. All right, guys, we want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope this video gave you guys some value, taught you a few new things. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comments below. I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. And again, fellas, in-season 28-day wide receiver gym schedule, everything broken down with specific sets and reps designed for wide receivers in season to maintain everything that they've built in that offseason strategically and to do it the right way. 50% off today only. Very first link below. Hope you guys can check it out. I'll see you guys next time.